getting hit multiple times coming out of that bike section. More drivers coming to blows.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning from wherever you are watching. Welcome to slow motion broadcasting for the championship round of the Sim Racers Group F3. My name is Adam Thompson, and no, this is not the actual Adam Thompson. My name is not spelt that way, but Tom O'Gorman is here as well. Mike Braun in the booth, and the man behind the cameras. Tonight, we wrap up the championship for this season, heading to Long Beach in this nearly 2-mile long street circuit in Long Beach, California. Tom, it all comes down to this here in SRG F3.
It's been a really fun season. It's been a pretty intense season, I have to say, Adam. And it's kind of a two-horse race at this point for the top of the championship, but we have a lot of racing tonight and still bragging rights on the line here for the 12th round of the championship. Got a 15-minute heat race and a 25-minute feature race coming at you. The heat race is worth 30 points for the winner. The feature race is worth 50 points, including some bonus points. There's a total of 85 on the line tonight, and it's just 7 separating Stephen Case and Jason Green as we jump into the last minutes of qualifying here. Those are the two names to keep an eye out if you're following this championship, but otherwise, currently Max Lynn Lotto is on the pole. As I say that, though, Stephen Case takes it away by 31 thousandths of a second. That's the telltale of what this championship has been like, and I think what tonight is going to be like as well on the streets of Long Beach.
Well, let's take a look at the point situation on Championship Wednesday here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. And Tom, the points are so tight still. Anybody can still win this.
Sure can. Just the two of them at the top, and then we have a good battle between Max Linlato there, sitting about 100 points back from the top spot, but he does not have all the comfort in the world over Chris Eggert, who's in a really good duel with Adrian Lopez. Caleb Mikowitz is not with us tonight. He sits sixth there in this championship run, so he's kind of at risk of slipping down out of the top six for Alex Velasco, Jason Cotcher, etc. We also have the team championship on the line here tonight as well. I don't know if we have those points right away. We do indeed. Those drivers kind of paired up before the season to give them another championship to look at. And again, it's very much a close battle. 31 points between the green cars. That's Joshua Corwin and Jason Green on that team, watching Corwin come through the hairpin there. And then the Dylan Case sits second position. That's Colker and Dylan and Stephen Case. So the team championship on the line as well.
Well, as we wrap up qualifying here, Stephen Case is going to be on the pole position for the sprint race, and Jason Green is going to currently start fourth. Now, folks, you got to remember that at the end of the heat race, we will invert the top six. So, will we see any games possibly played with that invert, possibly with Jason Green, who is currently chasing the championship leader right now?
It's very possible, but I mean, 30 points on the line in the heat is nothing to turn your nose up at. It's only 50 points if you win the feature. So it's not really worth manipulating your finishing position if you're in one of those top positions so that you get a better starting position for the heat, as the winner of the heat race becomes sixth place on the grid for that feature race. But the pattern that we've seen this season, if it's anything to go off of, is Stephen Case tends to be one of the fastest drivers. You see him here on the pole position once again, sitting in the catbird seat for the championship by 7 points. But with that, winning the heat race so often, he ends up inverting into the sixth or fifth position quite often as well, which puts you kind of into the danger zone. Jason Green is a little bit more of a quiet grower, let's say. He's always just there lurking to take up positions, take up spots, super consistent, tends to be super clean as well. So it's almost kind of produced this very close championship battle between them, because Stephen Case has been so dominant in the early stages of the evenings. After we inverted, he gets into that risky situation, and after everything's played out, it's so close between the two.
All right, let's take a look at our lineup for the heat race here. Stephen Case, Max Linlato. We'll keep an eye on Max Linlato to play spoilers here tonight on the front row. Trevor Burns and Jason Green. Jason Green so close to the championship. Varun Bali and Tyrone De Silva currently make up row number 3. Row 4, Jason Cotcher and Joshua Kerwin. Row 5, Alex Velasco in the 777 and Enrique Vela in the number 35. Row number 6, it's Adrian Lopez and Michelle Lynn. Outside of the top 12, it's Danush Paborji, who just a couple of weeks ago, the last time I was on the broadcast, had a pretty rough go of it around the Indianapolis road course, and Thomas Brashear making up the number 1 car. Row number 8, Keenan Miller and Jose Navas Molina. And then row number 9 is Colker, Dylan, and Diego Posada. That is your lineup here for the championship of SRG here tonight. It's the heat race, a very short heat race around the Long Beach street circuit, but for 2 of our drivers, it could be a very long time. Someone is going to walk away with the trophy here tonight as gridding has started here on the streets of Long Beach. But I do have to mention this. Keep an eye on Max Linlato. He is very fast as well. He was only 0.03 of a second off of the pace of Stephen Case in qualifying. He can play a spoiler for Stephen Case tonight, I would say. I think there's a lot on the line with these two lined up next to each other. Next week here on Slow Motion Broadcasting, Sim Racers Group F4 at Zolder. Same time, same place, right here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know exactly when we go live. Here we go. Lights will turn on here. 3, 4, 5 lights on and 5 lights out, and away we go. Stephen Case, great start off the line, and you have Max Lotto trying to keep up here as we will haul ourselves down into turn number 1. Who is going to be heavy on the brakes here? And Stephen Case escaping cleanly, and the rest of the field seems like they got through as well cleanly. There was also several drivers who could not participate in the sprint. That was Adrian Lopez, Diego Posada, and then Ken Glaser, Lloyd Conway, and Enrique Villa were all going to have to start in the pits for the sprint. So it was only Enrique Villa who had to start in the sprint. We have 2 meatball flags right off the get-go here at Long Beach. But look at Max Lotto. He is sticking with Stephen Case here. And we're not even through the first lap. Jason Green stuck in 4th place right now with Trevor Burns right in front of him, but can't make a move as Stephen Case continues to drive away.
It was a killer start, though, for Jason Green. Got up into the 3rd spot for a couple corners, about a half a lap, in fact, before Trevor Burns came back at him, dove up the inside at turn 6, kind of a textbook move to take the 3rd position back. Those exchanges have given the top 2 a bit of a breakaway, about a second back from 2nd to 3rd, and the draft is going to be pretty significant here on Shoreline Drive down this front straightaway into the braking zone. I got to say, this is a really fast street circuit, especially for Formula 3 cars. Turn 1 is very, very quick. We really only shut these cars down twice. Here's one of them coming into the fountain section. You really have to square that car up, but the rest of this is basically building speed for the next majority of the lap. These corners just so quick. I really noticed even on the cameras in lap 1, these cars panning through these corners just so quickly, and I think that adds to the risk. You have to be willing to push the car to its absolute limits, of course, but with as much speed as you can carry through these corners, it's a little bit different than maybe Adelaide, which we saw last time. Lots of slow corners on a street circuit. This one's very opposite, very quick here as we come up onto East Seaside Way for the 2nd time. Still, Stephen Case controlling the race pretty comfortably right now over Max Lotto. Half second between the 2, and they're still pulling away.
And we'll take a look here what happened off the start as we headed down the front straightaway or East Shoreline Drive, and into right by the fountain, an absolutely destroyed race car there for Keenan Miller. Unfortunately, let's take a look at that one more time. Oh, yeah, just who was that behind them there?
I think that was Thomas Brashear, who came in hot and ended up just kind of spearing Lopez into Navas Molina. There's another look towards the back just a little bit, jumping on board with Coulter and Dillon to see exactly how that happened. There's the big contact, and he's just, I'll come to a stop. Make sure I get through this clean.
It was Jose Navas Molina in the number 4 car. That's who it was who caused that accident. So, but for Coulter and Dillon, he was able to at least escape away a little bit here as we go back live to our leaders, as now Stephen Case starting to pull away from Max Lotto just over a half a second. Trevor Burns right now in the 541 is sitting in the 3rd spot right now. Jason Green in 4th. And you got to keep an eye on that 160 car, because that's the man trying to chase the championship leader of Stephen Case right now. If Stephen Case has an issue or something tonight, which this is Long Beach, you can have the most perfect lines. You could be the fastest driver, but here on the streets of Long Beach, one little just lapse of focus, and you can see yourself in a tire barrier or into a wall, and your night is done. So for Stephen Case, he may be leading right now, but I would not be so comfortable quite yet. Not until the checkered flag falls in the feature later on this evening.
If it were to stay the way it is, the lead for Stephen Case would grow from 7 points to 13 exiting this race, so it's still very much close. And as you can see, riding on board with Jason Green, everybody still looks like they're very close. The cameras on the outside of the racetrack, as we watch third person, don't exactly do it justice for how close Jason Green probably feels he is still to the top 3. Riding down the hill, quite a bit of elevation change here for a street circuit. Also a lot of texture, a lot of bumps on this racetrack, which make it even riskier because you do have to use the curbs and risk the bumps in a couple of different spots. Trevor Burns continuing to have some internet instability issues. Hopefully that doesn't get any worse, because the game can remove you, the simulator, excuse me, can remove you if you have that happen too badly. This is the second port where you just have to whoa the car up full lock in the Formula 3 cars to get the car rotated and pointed around turn 11 at that famous hairpin.
Well, let's go back to the battle for the race lead. As it's starting to get closer, I think Max Lotto, he might make a move here as we go down East Shoreline Drive and into the turn number 1 into Aquarium Way. And Max Lotto makes the move happen. And guess who has also joined the battle? Traber Burns has now joined the battle as well. This is getting crazy. Something must have happened to Stephen Case because he has lost a lot of pace here in just over a lap. I wonder if he's hit a wall somewhere.
Now, hearing from production, he actually got a slowdown at some point somewhere. Josh Corwin also has a slowdown, just finished serving that. The easiest place to get that here on this racetrack is actually into the braking zone in turn 1. In my experience, if you fade a little bit too far to driver's right and open that corner up, that's actually pit exit. You can't use that too aggressively, but there are a couple other places where you can pick up little cut penalties here and there if you get a little bit out of lockstep. Here's another one of them. If you end up 2 inside those curbs, very unlikely here, but now Case has the opportunity to utilize the draft, come back at Max Lotto, who leads this race as we come up to the halfway point. Traber Burns also in that exchange got just within sniffing distance. He sits 7/10 back, and he's not going to get much effect from it as Case also has the draft down the front straightaway. But another exchange in position between those two, and Burns is going to be licking his chops.
With Burns into this battle for the race lead, you know, you coming into tonight, you might have not have thought he was going to be possibly a spoiler here for Stephen Case. What does this do to the championship right now? With Max Lotto in the lead and Stephen Case in second, where does this championship stand right now if this finishes the way it is currently?
Will certainly turn up the side of Jason Green's mouth just a little bit more of a smirk as Lotto's flirting with the track limits. Fortunately, the track limits here are concrete walls. Just grabs the left rear tire with that concrete exiting turn number 8. I think the car is probably okay. You can get away with a little bit as long as it's mostly in the forward direction. Just a little bit of a side contact between those two. But this looks like the corner, the exit here of the hairpin is maybe where drivers can be a bit mistake prone because the cars are at full lock. Easy to get the car into a bit of an understeer, and you get a poor run onto Shoreline Drive. This is going to be the closest that Stephen Case has been. But to answer your question, that will put Jason Green within about 9 points instead of 13, I believe. Roughly, my math skills are rough, but either way, it's going to be very, very close between the two as it sits, regardless of where they finish, if they're within a position or two here as they run.
Well, this is going to be very interesting here as Stephen Case starting to pick it up here as we go down East Seaside Way. And you can see Stephen Case, he is right all over the back bumper of Max Lotto. He is smelling the exhaust fumes off of Max Lotto as we are now past 8 minutes here in our sprint race of our championship night. And again, it's only 15 minutes, so it's fairly quick. It's just like a rookie series race. 15 minutes is all you get. And Max Lotto, he is trying to capitalize here. He's trying to play spoiler. And if another sort of issue happens for Stephen Case, that's going to bring Traber Burns into play here. And that is going to be very interesting to see what happens, because if Stephen Case falls down to third, if I'm Jason Green, I'm going to be like, okay, how do I get past Stephen Case here to try and get a championship and be the man who takes home the big prize here tonight, live on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Max Lotto, half a second out in front of Stephen Case, doing a great job maintaining good pace in the gap here between himself and our second place runner and championship leader. Thomas Brashear, an issue for him. He's got the meatball flag, so he is done probably for this heat race. So not sure what exactly happened. Hopefully we can find a replay of what has happened to him. I'm guessing it's going to be a date with the tire barrier or a wall. And oh, there it is. He definitely had a chance there with the tire wall, but the tire wall rejected him there.
I've never noticed there's tire walls around the fountain there. give us a little bit of a peek at least. Unfortunately, you're right. I do think that's going to end his night. A good heads-up driving here from Kenan Miller to pull to the inside of the racetrack and disappear as our lead drivers come through. Max Linlato, I got to tell you, he is pushing hard. He is really flirting with the limits of the walls. He's already touched them a couple times, and he was within absolute hair's width coming off of turn 5 on the previous lap, but it's paying off for him. I think this is a track where the risks do pay off much more than, for example, last week at Adelaide. Coming into the fountain for the 9th time. As we move back, this is the battle for 6th, that invert position between Varun Bali and Josh Corwin. Whoever finishes in 6th will inherit the pole on that inverted feature race coming up shortly. Right now, Josh Corwin is absolutely hoping and praying that he's got an opportunity, but he loses it. Coming out of turn 5, commentators curse, production curse. As soon as we look to him, he loses the back end, and that's going to promote Jason Cotcher up to 7th.
And Danush Paborji will move up into 8th, so Joshua Kerwin losing 2 spots. Production, Mike, do we have that replay? What happened to Thomas Brashear? I'm getting told we got it, so let's take a look here. Let's go to Thomas Brashear. Okay, we'll go Kerwin first. Here's what happened to Kerwin. Yep, just loses the rear end, and look, good awareness there just to get off the racing line so he doesn't get hit from the rear and gets back going again. But now let's go back to Thomas Brashear. I want to see what happened to him because that's his 2nd wreck of the night. And yep, so unfortunate for him. Good onboard there with Thomas Brashear. That's unfortunate. That's his 2nd wreck. He was involved in the first one on the opening lap. So a tough go for Thomas Brashear as Kenan Miller has pulled into the pit lane as well from 14th position. You know who's really benefited tonight? That's Enrique Villa, who did go out for qualifying but had to start from the pits because of penalties from last week's race.
Adam, sorry to cut you off, but Stephen Case hard into the wall coming out of turn 8, grabs the left side tires, both front and rear, into the concrete. It's going to slip back to 2nd, but I'm really trying to keep an eye on this car, see if he's got any issues. Here's a look at it from Traber Burns. Looks like Case just grabbed the inside wall and clunks the outside. Again, sorry for interrupting you, but big development here. That's your championship leader.
Oh man, that is going to be that's not going to help whatsoever. I mean, that the impact with the tires. These cars are very, very fragile. You do any sort of damage, it is not fun to drive around in. And then you got to wonder if if he hits the wall again, will that bring out a meatball where he's going to have to pit? And that could change the entirety of the championship. And he's getting mightily close, and he hits it again. He hits the wall again. That car is really struggling on the rear. You can just see it's dancing around. It is not happy whatsoever right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 minutes remaining here in the heat race, and it is all kicking off. And the championship is now really up for grabs now for Jason Green, as he is 1 spot away from overtaking his championship rival. Stephen Case, he's got to keep it calm, cool, and composed at this point, because one more mistake like that, and that's going to allow Jason Green to get by him, and then it's really on tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to tell right now if Stephen Case's car is actually damaged or if maybe he's just thrown off his rhythm and maybe just tensed up from that close moment. It's so easy to do on any street circuit as the white flag comes out, but especially here at Long Beach with as fast as this track is, it's so easy to get yourself out of lockstep, start to realize just how close those walls are. You kind of clam up, tense up, and get a little bit nervous. Traver Burns now holds the 2nd spot down. By the way, last time by, fast lap of the race. Oh, for Linlato, but now Burns makes the same sort of mistake, nips the wall with the right rear.
Well, that was close. He lost the rear end, slid around. Good save, though. That is a fantastic save and great driving there by Traver Burns. And right now for Jason Green, he knows that, he just needs to keep driving what he's doing right now. He doesn't have to try to make the move at this point and try and catch up, because right now he should be smiling, because he's going to start in front of Stephen Case in the feature, and that could very, very well decide this championship. And you can just see what is all happening here. Stephen Case, he's doing everything he can here on the final lap. Max Lotto, he will come through the hairpin and he will cross the line here and win our heat race. He'll start 6th in the feature. There's Max Lotto. And Traber Burns, he will cross the line in 2nd. Stephen Case in 3rd. Jason Green 4th. Tyrone De Silva rounds out the top 5. And starting on the pole for our feature, Varun Bali, who started in 5th, lost a spot, but he will be our pole sitter for our 30-minute, I should say. It's, if I remember right, 30-minute feature coming up here very shortly. Michelle Lynn crossed the line in 8th. And you got Karen Dillon in 9th. Coming off the final turn now, or across the line, excuse me, Alex Valesco rounds out the top 10. Keenan Miller, who had to pull into the pits, gained 4 spots in total. He'll cross the line in 11th. Then Enrique Vila, who also pulled into the pits not too long ago, will finish this out as our last on-track runner in 12th. So the top 12 of our sprint race makes it through. The top 6 will be inverted. That means Max Lotto will start 6th. Stephen Case, he'll start 4th, and Jason Green will start 3rd. So they will line up next to each other for our feature race coming up here.
How cool is this? I think on the team side, well, first on this individual championship side for the drivers, Max Lotto with that win, I think just locked up 3rd for the championship, particularly with Chris Eggert and Kayla Mikowitz not present tonight. On the team side, that was a really good race for the green cars, both Josh Corwin and Jason Green scoring good points. Coker and Dillon a little further back. Stephen Case obviously scoring decent points as well, but the green cars did have an advantage. It's going to be pretty tough for the Dillon Case to come back, but I mean, it's still a dead heat basically between Case and Green for the Drivers' Championship.
So we're going to go ahead and take a pause here. We're going to bring in Tyler Hagan, who is going to announce the winner of the Billy Award. So we'll get him in here. Tyler, today is a special day. It's championship night here at SRG F3. And not only is it championship night, but we get to award the Billy.
We do indeed. And is that Adam Thompson I hear? I haven't heard your voice in ages. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I hope I'm doing good.
Fantastic. So for those viewers new to Sim Racers Group, we had a fantastic competitor by the name of Billy Campbell Peach, who unfortunately we lost too soon, tragically a while back. Billy constantly raced with heart and feeling and respect, and everybody, just every single person who ever raced with Billy would have been happy to race wheel to wheel with him under any circumstances. When we lost him, we decided that it would be fitting to award each league. It would be fitting to award the driver who best exemplifies the way that Billy raced each and every week. This award is actually more prestigious than any of the championships that we offer and that we award every season. And we award one for F4, and then tonight we are awarding it for our F3 competitors. And this season, again, almost to unanimous consent, is Jason Green, who has just racked up 0 penalty points. I'm not even sure I've actually had the opportunity to send him a message before, because I've never had to send him a message saying, "You were a bad, bad boy tonight." So can't go wrong with that. I am happy to congratulate Jason and pat him on the back and give an attaboy.
Well, and congratulations to Jason Green, who's on our screens now, the 160 car, who's also battling for the championship tonight. He is the winner of the prestigious Billy Award. Tyler, thank you very much. I know that award means a lot to people and it means a lot to your group. So thank you for announcing that here tonight, and then next week the F4 winner will be announced, correct?
We actually got a chance to announce that F4 winner last night. That was Jacob Guyton.
Awesome.
And I would love to also congratulate Jacob on that, because again, it is the most prestigious award we've got. Thanks for having me in the booth, guys. So much appreciated, and you guys do a fantastic job. Keep it up.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Thanks,
very
Tyler.
much, Tyler, and we hope that the feature race coming up is fairly quiet for you.
Me too. Thanks, guys.
Tyler Hagan here with Sim Racers Group announcing the Billy Award to Jason Green. So congratulations to him. You know, and he'll walk away with one award tonight, but can he grab the championship? That's the real question. That comes up here in about 45 seconds, and in 30 minutes time, we will have our answer. Tom, I'm going to ask you this because you've been watching this all season long. What are your predictions here tonight?
I don't know that I can make any predictions that hold any water because it can be so unpredictable, but I think we saw in that first race some drivers willing to take big risks, those top three all coming in contact with the wall at one point or another. And the reason that's, you know, obviously there's potential negatives with that. They all got away with it, but there's also incident points on the line that turn into and translate directly to championship points. If you have the fewest incidents in this session, you get 3 bonus points. If you have 0, you get another 2 bonus points. So multiple drivers can get that at least. And all that to say, there are 5 extra bonus points on the line, plus the 50 for the race win, and then it goes on down. So if you're making contact with the wall, you pick up a little incident point here, a little incident point there. That could cost you championship points as well. With our 2 protagonists, Stephen Case and Jason Green, starting side by side on the second row, they got to be careful at the start here as well.
Well, let's go through our starting lineup. Varun Bali, your pole sitter, alongside him, Tyrone De Silva. Row number 2, our 2 championship protagonists. It's Jason Green chasing a title here tonight. Alongside him is the championship leader of Stephen Case. Traver Burns and Max Linlotto make up row number 3. Can they play spoilers tonight? Jason Cotcher and Michelle Lynn make up row 4. Kyle Curran Dillon and Alex Valesco make up row 5. Joshua Kerwin and Danush Paborgi make up row number 6. Row 7, Enan Miller and Enrique Vila. And row number 8, Thomas Brashear and Jose Navas Molina. And Adrian Lopez and Diego Posada will make up row number 9. Cars are looking great. They are gridded up. It is Championships Wednesday here on Slow Motion Broadcasting for the Sim Racers Group F3. Lights will turn on here. We hope. And lights go out, and away we go here for the final race of this season here at Sim Racers Group F3. Good start there by Varun Bali. He's going to get swallowed up, though. Here comes Stephen Case, makes it 3 wide as they go into turn 1. Stephen Case, he puts one hand on the trophy already. He wants both of them here at the end of these 30 minutes and gets out in front from the 4th spot. And Jason Green moves in, stays in 3rd here. Now he's going to have to put pedal to the metal here, and we are getting word that there was chaos further back as everybody headed into turn number 1.
Yeah, where's the rest of the field? There's a trickle coming out of turn 5 back onto Shoreline Drive. Here's a look at it from Tyrone De Silva. We'll come back to that pass from Case, but De Silva, a little touch of the wall. Looks like Traver Burns gets a bit of contact as well. There's damage now on De Silva's car. Tries to stay out of the way, just hoping and praying he doesn't collect anybody else, but unfortunately the inevitable happens. And in the background, multiple wings flying. Here's a look at it from Linlotto, who started back in the 6th position. Just barely gets through with a bit of a bump in the front, a bit of a bump in the back, but cars flying in the background just behind there for basically the bottom half of the race.
Oh, some rear wings and nose cones being ripped off, and it all kicked off further in the back there. And for Joshua Kerwin, Adrian Lopez, called Curran Dillon, they got the bad end of the stick. Enrique Vila is already back into the pits as well. Let's let's take a look at that start once again. Keep an eye on Stephen Case in that turquoise blue car here, and we're on board with him. He was committed. He didn't care if he was going to make it 3 wide or not. Makes the move happen, gets down, last of the late breakers, gets out in front, and away he goes. And he wants this championship badly, but keep an eye out. He made a crucial mistake in the sprint race not too long ago, but this 25-minute sprint feature is going to be something else. This is now going to be a test of endurance. Can he keep that car off the walls here at Long Beach just long enough to claim the championship?
Oh yeah, for Stephen Case, that almost looks like he'd been practicing standing starts and just locking in on a break point to know exactly what he could get away with in turn 1. It's a smart move either way, but that's a driver that knew exactly what he could get away with, had his mind locked on the breaking point and just went for it. It's beautiful, and I think it's a tough pill to swallow for Jason Green, not only to see his closest championship rival up the road, but the car in front of him has proven to be one of the most difficult to pass in this championship. Varun Bali, every time he's in the front of a train like this, it takes nearly 6 or 7 cars to knock that wall down. Right now, Green is the first of the cork in the bottle, and I only say that because Bali does tend to lack just that last bit of pace, those couple tenths at the very, very tippy top. But every invert, when he ends up towards the front, he races like the best of them, and now he's started to collect Max Lotto as well in the background, as well as Traber Burns. No, that's Alex Velasco, all the way up 5 positions from 10th to 5th.
Good hard charger right now, nominee for Alex Velasco, up 5 spots here in our feature. And he's got a long ways to go, though, to gain another spot. 1.2 seconds is the gap, and got to keep an eye out here on our battle here. If Jason Green can find a way around Bali, that will help him a lot, but it's just one of these. This is one of those tracks. If you're just not close enough, it's hard to make a move. Stick and get by somebody who may be just a little bit off the pace compared to you. And we know Jason Green can do it. It's just, it's a much more difficult pass than just a normal road course compared to this street course. I mean, it's narrow, it's bumpy, it's everything that you don't want as a race car driver. And that is walls.
Can only create so much of your own opportunity. You kind of have to start to just really force your way through, like we saw Stephen Case be willing to do. Taking a look down on the right side of your screen with some track information. Nice and cool out here in the simulated Southern California weather. Only 80-degree track temps. The tires just coming into the window of where they're going to be most effective. Right now, Varun Bali proving me wrong just slightly. I hate to say when someone trends a little bit slower, but right now he's one of the quick cars on the racetrack. And he's pulling away from Jason Green, actually, who has now just started to have to deal with more pressure from Max Lotto than he is able to go on offense for Varun Bali. A great run up onto the front straightaway for the 4th time. Stephen Case is now well up the road, 1.5 seconds. This is the best battle on the racetrack between 3 cars. Bali still holds 2nd. Jason Green coming back at him with the draft down the front straightaway. But he's going to need to find a little bit more pace here, I think, in that number 160.
Well, here we go. We're now less than 20 minutes away from crowning a champion here at Sim Racers Group, and it's been a very tight-knit championship. There's been some great racing all season long. I've had the honor to be on just a few of the races and filling in for GR and others, and it's been good. It's been really good. Last time I was here was just a couple of weeks ago when we were at Indianapolis Road Course, and that was a great race as well on a track that usually doesn't produce all that much good racing. So it's good to see these drivers, you know, besides last week, Tom, which you were here for last week, sounded like it was a bit of a wreck fest and some drivers getting some big penalties. So that's why we kind of had not a whole lot of starters in our sprint race not too long ago. And this Diego Posada, he just kissed the tire barrier.
Still running actually up 5 positions after he started from the pit lane. Here's a 3-wheeler, Adrian Lopez. Where did the left front come off of that race car? I missed where the contact happened. It must have been coming off of turn 9 and then just makes it to the pit lane. So we saw a couple little slips here and there. Yeah, the car's it's already missing the entire wheel. It's somewhere in the side pod.
I didn't realize we were racing dirt modifieds here at Long Beach.
Yeah.
And this battle getting really close as well. Keenan Miller. Thomas Brashear was very, very close to that wall out of turn number 11, the hairpin. So we are back live. Here's Max Linlotto trying to make the move down the inside of Jason Green. Doesn't quite get there. And Jason Green pulling it back as we approach the hairpin. And Max Linlotto, he pulls out of there, which was probably the right move.
Yeah, great decision making. And that's a really tough spot to pull that off. We already saw the cars are full lock when they're on the racing line. He somehow made that and didn't lose too much time either. A couple other cars on pit lane getting some repairs as the consequences are so high. Gap at the front now, Stephen Case 2 seconds up the road from Varun Bali, who has continued to pull just inches away from Jason Green as Green deals with Max Linlotto. I'm really impressed Linlotto there with that decision making again, but he did lose quite a bit of time. He's going to spend probably the good part of this lap or more just trying to get back to another passing opportunity, as he is the quicker race car, but that only means so much. Bragging rights for fast lap, yeah, great, sure, but can you make the pass? Whoa, throws it down into turn 6. There's so much space on the exit, usually just kind of wastes some distance, slots it right back in behind Green, but this is a killer run. Here he comes. Green sees it coming. Wow, a good duel between these two down the back straight.
And this is all this is doing is holding up Jason Green from trying to get around Varun Bali, who sits in second. That's what sits between him and a championship. He's got to get around Varun Bali to just try and track down Stephen Case, or be in a position in case Stephen Case makes a mistake, who has made a mistake already in our sprint race. So he's got to really put pedal to the metal here. Stephen Case, he's driving with a lot of confidence, but as we saw, he smacked that wall in the feature, or excuse me, in the sprint, and Max Linlotto finally making the move stick and smacks the wall. He's broke too. Oh no, Max Linlotto. Oh man, that is unfortunate. There's the meatball flag. That is gonna hurt him, and Jason Green is thanking his lucky stars. He's going, oh, thank the Lord. We do not have to deal with that. Yep. He almost got into the back of Max Linlotto. Was that Cotcher or Velasco?
Yeah, Velasco really, as Linlotto was recovering from this, just too hot into the corner, misses, just barely grabs that tire wall. I mean, that bundle is a little bit exaggerated, I think, as far as it sticks out. But either way, Velasco, while Linlotto was out of control, no fault of his own after the contact, Velasco had to really check up. And that has now separated out everybody in the top 10 except for the battle for 7th. As now Linlotto having oh no, that's the same penalty, excuse me. So Case, Bali, Green, Velasco, Cotcher are your new top 5, all of them at least a second apart.
And there goes Max Linlotto into the pits here to get repairs done on that car. That is so unfortunate, and you can just tell that right side of the race car is pretty much toast. So he will unfortunately have a long ways to travel back to get back into the fight in very limited time. We are now in the range of a sprint race here. Less than 15 minutes to go here in the SRG F3 season. An incredible night here so far, as we have crowned the Billy Award to Jason Green. We also have been able to witness this championship fight go down to the wire, as it all comes down to this. 1.1 seconds is the gap between Varun Bali and Jason Green. Jason Green, unfortunately, started third and is currently third, as we are looking on your screens now, between Michelle Lin and Danush Paborji.
Oof, same carbon copy here. Thomas Brashear experiencing the same heartbreak that Max Linlotto felt. Looks like the right rear is just really easy to catch on that tire wall as far as it sticks out. Unfortunately for Brashear, one fast repair down. This is going to be a full-on tow back to the pit lane, which will put a big damper on his race that had already gone a little bit left.
And this battle starting to really heat up.
Kind of a cool dynamic between these two to watch. Been paying attention to this a little bit as Danush Paborji trying to find a way through on Michelle Lynn. By the way, this is the battle for 6. This is way into the top 10 at this point. Lynn driving absolutely within the limit, just kind of getting the car through the corner on the nice racing line. Very clinical driving here for the purple machine just in front. Lots of risks in contrast being taken by Danush Paborji following. We've seen him grab curbs. We've seen him a little bit of tank slaps here and there. Has not created the opportunity to get through. But with all the risks that he's taking, it does feel like he will inevitably either get through or make a bigger mistake than he already has. Lynn sees the opportunity to lead the way for 6th position one more time up onto the front straightaway. There's another little slip. That's the extra bit of risk, that extra bit of just kind of letting the car hang out a bit more that has been hurting Paborji's progress. As now back towards the front of the field, Jason Green has shaken the thoughts from Max Lotto and gets to focus solely on the number 45 of Varun Bali for 2nd.
Jason Green, he's trying to make the move around the outside, sticking with Varun Bali as we head down towards turn number 8. Almost makes contact there. And Jason Green, he will say thank you very much, but no, almost smacks it into the wall. And Varun Bali says, well, you tried it once. You had the one try. I may not let you have that again. And Varun Bali almost had a huge incident as well heading into turn 8. They both were very, very close to colliding. Jason Green sent it into turn 8, almost has a date with the wall, and ends up escaping that. But unfortunately, Varun Bali able to get by very, very quickly.
The battle for 6th continues as well. The track temps are rocketing up. They're up 6 degrees since the last time we pointed it out. Within, I don't know, what is this? Within 15 minutes since the start of the race. Still 10 minutes plus to go. And this battle is not too far ahead of Tyrone De Silva, who was kind of the somewhat innocent catalyst of the chaos on lap 1. He's getting his race back under control. Back there in 8th, slightly quicker race car might find his way up towards these two. Paborji gets a little bit hot in. Once again, Michelle Lynn with the clinical driving gets another advantage. Now it's about 10 car lengths nearly as they balloon out onto the straightaway in a moment. Paborji recovering nicely and gets to kind of focus forward for another shot.
Well, Danush Paborji is really putting on the pressure here on Michelle Lynn, but Michelle Lynn soaking in that pressure just fine, has not fallen away, has not let Paborji behind her get to her at all, has been doing some great defensive driving and just keeping that gap just slightly above 0.3 of a second here so far. You can see Danush Paborji, he's doing everything he can here to just try and get as close as he can to Michelle Lynn on a especially right here. He needs to get a good corner exit here as Michelle Lynn a little loose off the corner, but keeps it straight and actually gains a little bit of extra time down the front straightaway. And Danush Paborji is doing everything he can. He's up 5 spots. Well, we got to talk about Jose Navas Molina, who is up 7 spots here, looking to be the hard charger tonight into the top 10 here so far. So good run from him here this evening. Unfortunately, his heat rate or his sprint race did not quite go to plan as he would have liked to had that gone. But he's making up some good spots here, getting himself into 9th. Trevor Burns, who unfortunately had contact at the start of the race. He's the last man in the top 10. So he is down 5 spots, but making good progress as we look back at our battle for 3rd here, really our battle for 2nd. With
this is
Jason Green, Alex Valesco, and Varun Bali.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff here for Velasco. He's been the quickest car, nearly one of the quickest cars on the racetrack overall in the last 2 laps, but he's lapping in the 1:14 range. The 2 cars in front, Bali and Green, lapping with the 1:15 range. It's been 2 laps in a row that he's taken nearly a half second out of Jason Green's advantage here for 3rd and 4th. Bali, the white and blue machine, runs 2nd. So that's a big gain here for Velasco, who's having a hell of a race to round this championship out, up 6 positions. And by the way, he sat 7th in the individual drivers championship coming into this round, with Kalen Mikowitz, Adrian Lopez, and Chris Eggert all effectively not present tonight. Lopez did take a start, but has been involved in incidents all night. Velasco might actually come close. I think it's just going to be a bit short. I think he's going to come close to top 5 in the championship, though, if he were to finish this way.
And now Jose Navas Molina as Denise Poborgi is out. What has happened to Poborgi? Oh, got over the curbs and went around. Turned the car around here and went back into the other wall. And that was the end of that. Wow, unfortunate there.
And with that, we're closing in on half of the field having experienced at least an incident putting them down, if not out of this race. But the battle for second hasn't gone anywhere. They're all within about a second of each other. Varun Bali continuing to lead the train on this 15th lap of the race. And Jason Green just kind of settled into this 3rd position here. I'm not sure if it's just in maintenance mode, meaning just hit your marks and kind of see what happens for the next couple laps, or if this is the pace that these race cars have. Little slip from Varun Bali. And all the meanwhile, that 777, the blue machine in the background, getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger in the virtual mirrors, just ever so slightly. As now Green mounting a charge. Does he take the opportunity? This is the terrible, worst passing zone on the racetrack. No, thinks better of it. He's going to try to open things up here and get a better run as Bali runs a bit wide. This is a great exit for Jason Green. Needs to grab the draft. Bali feels the pressure.
Bali is feeling that pressure. He's doing everything he's doing. Does a little bit of a defensive maneuver there as we head down the front straightaway into turn 1. Jason Green backs out of the move. He knows there's other opportunities coming here. If he can just keep that pressure on, he can make that move stick, but he's got then a 7.5 second gap to Stephen Case, who is driving lights out right now here at our championship finale here this season. There's Varun Bali, and excuse me, who was that? Director scaring me there for a moment. I thought for sure Jason Green all of a sudden just disappeared. Jason Green, though, half a second away from Varun Bali. He's doing everything he can. This might be the one opportunity he can get, and he's not going to get there. So he's just got to keep that momentum up, though, because Alex Velasco's still right there. So if Jason Green makes a mistake, he's going to lose another spot here at Long Beach, and you don't want to do that now, especially with a championship on the line. But let's head out to Stephen Case real quick. I want to see what he's up to. He's already into the fountain section here. And Tom, he is just driving fantastically. Just great pace. Doesn't have the fastest lap, but he's right now in the low 115s.
Yeah, it's just been clicking off. Started for most of the race right in the 114 range, just slipped into the 115s, but I was going to point out track temp now up 8 degrees. And I'll tell you, that's going to be very frustrating, if nothing else, especially if you don't have that information available to you, because the car's just going to feel like crap. And you don't really know why. You're just slipping around, sliding. It looks like Varun Bali might be dealing with that ever so slightly. The back of that car has seemed a bit unstable these last 2 laps. But either way, to the point about Stephen Case, he's just driving to what the car has and driving to what he needs out of this race, which at this point is just to bring it home.
Well, Tyrone De Silva has entered the chat here, trying to get by Michelle Lynn, as Michelle Lynn up into 6th now, looking strong here for a 6th place finish. But Tyrone De Silva doing a great job staying on the exhaust pipe of Michelle Lynn, who is again going to have to put on that defensive driving act that we saw her do with Danush Paborji, and that's going to frustrate Tyrone Da Silva. We've seen Tyrone Da Silva run very, very well this season, and right now Michelle Lynn having to do everything she can just to stay in front of the 480 car, as we are now less than almost 3 minutes away from the checkered flag here at Long Beach. Now, Tom, talking about this championship here, what has been a rememberable moment of this season?
There's so many. I mean, I think one of the big highlights, maybe not a highlight, but features of this championship is the number of street circuits. You had to be good between the concrete walls to win this championship. Otherwise, the first race that comes to mind was back at Algarve. I think round 3, maybe. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but that was just an incredible set of races that night. Really, really good racing on the Portuguese track. But we've, again, just had so many different tones set throughout the race championship, throughout the different races, because of the different selections of these tracks. Right now, Jason Green is on a good tear. He was the fastest car across the stripe 2 laps ago. Last time by, he's close enough now to make another look around the outside at turn 6. This gives him a decent run, just starting to try to knock Varun Bali off balance, if anything else. Not an actual passing opportunity created yet until we get up onto this back straightaway. There goes Bali, defensive, coming into the braking zone for turn 9. This is really not that big of a braking zone in the Formula 3 car. You have to be extra brave to make anything happen here. Jason Green, once again, he makes sure to get back to the racing line and try to take some contact between the two. Varun Bali just trying to maintain the position. Jason Green misjudges it, and there's damage on the front of that race car. The front wing sneering now as he takes a hit from the front.
And for Jason Green, good goes to bad to worse. He's been stuck behind Varun Bali since the drop of the green flag, and it now is under attack from Valesco into turn 1. Jason Green's going to try and keep them spot. Had to keep it around the outside and almost kissed the tire barrier, but escaped cleanly. But he's watching that time bleed away with that damage on the front of his car. We are approaching the white flag here. Let's take a look. We had a crash here. It looks like it's Michelle Lynn. Oh, misjudged the corner there into turn 9. And unfortunately, she was driving so well tonight and probably deserves a couple more places than where she will probably finish, but just unfortunate. Now we see Kalkurin Dillon into the pits. Diego Posada, Danush Paborji is in the pits. Lots of drivers out of this one, along with Maxilin Lotto. Checkered flag falls. Stephen Case takes the checkered flag. He will be your SRG F3 champion.
What a performance to round out on with that commanding pass down into turn 1 and then just drives off into the distance. Varun Bali, a hell of a race as well, comes home second after starting first. He just would not give up anything less and was actually one of the quickest race cars on the track at the end of the race. Turned the fastest laps of anybody by my measure, except for Traber Burns on those final 2 laps. A great performance for Bali. Then Jason Green. Maybe a frustrating night, but I got to say it's still a strong championship. It's going to come up a couple points short of the championship itself, but we'll come home second. Alex Velasco with that. Again, as everything kind of sorts out, including drops and bonus points, I don't know exactly, but he's going to be within a striking distance of a top 5 in the championship. What a great race for him. But the hard charger, Jose Navas Molina, I believe, did he start from pit lane, or is that a legitimate 9 positions? Hard to say in memory. Now, last finishing car across the start-finish line. Enrique Vela will round out your finishers on the lead lap at least, I believe. Is Brashear still lapping? No, so we'll see these three come back up out of the start-finish straight. The classic Sim Racers group photo with the three, and then some celebratory donuts and some interviews coming at you as well.
Well, what a championship, Stephen Case. You are the champion here at Sim Racers Group, and all broadcasted live here on YouTube on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Jason Green, unfortunately, does not get the job done, but he does walk away with one trophy, and that is the Billy. And Varun Bali tonight, your second place finisher. What a run for him. And yep, burn it down there, Stephen Case. You deserve it. You are the champion here at Sim Racers Group. Here's the final result. Stephen Case wins the race from fourth, and Varun Bali takes home second. Jason Green tonight will be disappointed with third place, but Alex Velasco will come home to fourth. Jason Cotcher rounds out your top five with Tyrone Da Silva in sixth. Jose Navas Molina, the hard charger tonight, up into seventh. Michelle Lynn tonight started eighth, finishes eighth. Traber Burns, after an incident at the start of the feature, will finish inside the top 10 in ninth. And Enrique Villa in the top 10. Thomas Brashear, unfortunately, one lap down tonight, along with Diego Posada, who did not make it to the checker flag, along with Colcrin Dillon, Danush Paborgi, Max Linlado, Keenan Miller, Adrian Lopez, and Joshua Corwin. So, unfortunate there for those drivers, but a champion has been crowned. It is Stephen Case, who burned it down a little too hard there. He no longer has a rear wing and looks like he is in the waiting area. So we'll go ahead and bring him in here. Our champion and race winner here tonight from Long Beach. It's Stephen Case joining us here in the broadcast booth. Stephen, first off, congratulations. What a performance tonight. You had a little bit of attrition in that sprint race, but that feature, you were long gone and putting both hands on the trophy.
Thank you. It means a lot. I worked hard for this race. Wanted to make sure to give Jason a proper last race since we were so close in the championship, and made it happen. But yeah, that the sprint race got a little kiss of the wall, and that gave me some wheel damage. So, but I think it put me in a good place for the feature, so I'm not too sad about it.
Well, you started on the pole for the sprint and seemed like you were going to run away with it and have a nice little comfortable advantage heading into the feature. And yes, hitting the wall was not just once, but twice, unfortunately. Sent you down to third, where you ended up starting fourth next to your championship rival tonight. But the start of the feature, you came out of there like a bat out of hell all of a sudden, and you made the move stick into turn one, and you were long gone.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really remember what happened. I just know there was some slow cars and a gap, and I'm like, well, I know my car will stick. I guess I'll go that way. And it ended up working. I think the stars aligned for me there. I don't think it just happened without even me thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was shaking probably a good couple laps after that.
Well, you drove like you weren't, and it was a championship drive. And just tell me just about the season as a whole. You have been the guy to beat all season long. You've had the pace all season, but the championship, it's a long, grueling one. It's 12 rounds and 2 races a night, and you have to just be consistent, don't you?
Yeah, and this season was probably my least consistent. I had quite a few incidents in the early races, I feel like. And very few feature wins, actually. I don't think I had very many. I was actually looking at the standings, and Kaylin, I think, has the most feature wins out of anybody.
Yeah, it was a good season. Any comments you want to just say about your championship rival, Jason Green?
I was enjoyed to race with them. Yeah, a lot of times we didn't get to race too much side by side, but I remember specifically, I can't remember the previous street circuit that we raced, not Adelaide, but before that, where we had some good racing, and I probably had a questionable pass on him then, but he gave me space and I made it work. So it was good racing with him.
Well, congratulations, Steven. You are the champion here this season here at Sim Racers Group.
Thank you.
Tom, a dominating performance tonight. So
Yeah, really impressive. And to his point, I mean, he actually pointed it out. I kind of didn't think about it much, but with that pattern of being one of the fastest cars in qualifying, starting towards the front, if not on pole for the heat races, and then often starting in the back, he did not actually win that many feature races. He did win a lot of heats, and those are still worth some good points, but he definitely had to work for this championship. I know it's a driver that contributes back to this community as well, does some driver coaching. I think he had something to do with Nate Perkins' top 3 championship in Formula 4 on Tuesday nights, if not a couple other drivers as well. So really cool to see all the work and all the effort pay off.
yes, for sure. We'll talk to our third place finisher and runner up in the championship now, Jason Green in the booth. Jason, unfortunate night tonight after you probably had a little bit of a smile and maybe some positive hope after the feature tonight. It all came crashing down in the feature. The sprint race, though, you must have been pretty excited when you saw yourself lining up with your championship rival.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I would at least be able to battle with him a little bit. I was just talking to him in the waiting room, but that start was incredible. I knew he had the draft on the inside because they both went right, but I didn't think he'd be able to go straight into first straight away. So that just immediately crushed any hope that I had. So yeah, that was an amazing start from him. I didn't have too much hope I would be able to finish in front of him without a huge mistake from him, though. He had the pace on me today. Was probably 4 or 5 tenths off. So yeah, I was just happy to finish. Shout out to Varun for keeping me behind. That was a great battle. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You come up short tonight, but finishing second in the championship and keeping this all going to the final round has got to feel really good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's my best seasons by far. Just had the one issue at Indy, but I had a lot of luck, to be honest, to get away from some crashes and to for some other people who have issues ahead of me to get those consistent finishes. But yeah, super happy that I was able to take advantage of mistakes. I was on pace, I think, or on pace with Case. I think for like 2 races, maybe just the one, but definitely at least 1 or 2. So yeah, super happy with that. To find a little pace in this car, and to at least make it interesting for Steve.
Also, you were crowned the Billy Award recipient tonight. What does that mean to you?
That was shocking to me. To be honest, I'm so I can't really put into words how honored I am to get that and to be voted that by everybody. Yeah, it's a very prestigious thing to get for sure. And I'm thankful to be a part of this community, to race with these guys. And yeah, it's huge.
Well, you did a great job this season. Is there any memorable moments that you're going to look back on this season?
Definitely. I think Road America was a blast. I think that's the one sprint race win that I had. Steve and I were battling for our last lap. That was a lot of fun. And then just in general, helping being able to drive all season with Michelle, and practice with her, and that actually helped me a lot as well. I hope helped her as well. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Looking forward to racing with her again next season.
Of course, as we close this chapter next season, we'll start not in the near future, but here soon. What are some of the goals that you're setting for yourself for this upcoming season?
Just to be a little closer, I think, to Steve and Max. Been slowly getting there, slowly trying to get the feel and figure out where I'm a little deficient, mainly on the brakes. So yeah, just to get a little closer to them. Hopefully, battle on pace a little more. But yeah, that would be the general goal.
Well, congratulations on your runner-up here in the championship, on your third place finish tonight, and for the Billy Award recipient.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you. You've done an amazing job on the broadcasts this season.
Well, thank you for that, and we will see you next season.
See you.
Thanks, Jason.
Oh, heartbreak for Jason Green. There,
Yeah,
Tom, and
I think Jason really had the right perspective, though. I mean, first of all, the Billy Awards, basically who's everyone's favorite racer. Who would you want to be next to if your last lap, first lap, tightest corner in the world, and everyone voted Jason Green. So that's a huge compliment from the community. But I think he knew that he typically didn't have the raw pace to race with Stephen Case, and as he mentioned, they didn't see each other on the racetrack a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, for as close as the championship felt. So it just seemed like a really good attitude and a really good approach for the night. Did the best he could, kind of knew what cards he had and played them the best that he could. So I really enjoyed watching Jason this season.
Yeah, it's been a good one here. And we still have one more driver. Do we want to talk to him real quick, or we end it here tonight?
Yeah, let's have a quick conversation with the series admin, the business owner, Jason Cotcher, the captain.
The captain here with us here on our broadcast here tonight. Jason, championship now all said and done, and it's got to feel good to put a bow tie on this season.
Yeah, it sure does, guys. I think it's our third F3 season. I have to look. But it's getting better and better. The skills are coming up for just about everybody. I know my skills are coming forward and people are having fun. It's nice to forget about life for a while, and grateful for all of the league and participants and SMB that makes it happen. And we'll take a couple of weeks off, reset, new schedule looks hot, and come back at them again.
Any announcements you want to make here on the broadcast for the upcoming season?
Well, F4 will be the Americas schedule. We run Europe in the first season, Pacific Asia in the second, Americas in the third, and the global mix in the fourth. So that's in the Discord for the F4 kids that are listening. Tune up the North American circuits and Brazil as well. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for announcements. I think it's going well, and we're just going to hit the F3 schedule again that has come out. So things are going well, and we're excited to continue.
Okay. Jason, as you look through this season, anything that stood out to you for this year?
Well, I think it was last year was when we took a vote. The community got together and had a think, and I said, hey, what's working, what's not working, and they collectively voted to make the penalty system more clear, more concise, more transparent, and one click harsher. So we did that, and I really feel like I was hesitant to at first. And it was kind of funny from some of the guys that had a history of bashing about here and there. We're kind of the lead crows squawking about wanting to tighten it up. I was like, you sure about that with a couple of these guys? But we did it, and it's really, I think a lot of the participants really appreciated it. They drove better, they drove cleaner, got a bunch of compliments on the league, and friends are telling friends. So that was the biggest change that we made. And like I said, I was hesitant. I didn't know how that would go, but I think everyone wanted a higher standard to drive to and race in and amongst, and it's worked out really well. I'm I'm usually hesitant. I'm usually cautious, and that it lends itself to stability, which is good. But it can also, hold us back in places. So, I've had excellent admin board with Tyler and Alex and Stephen Case to talk to and get their feedback. And Tyler, especially Tyler's the man. I mean, that guy, he should have a therapist certificate for listening to me rant about everything going on. But always a steady hand on the rudder, always a kind ear and a measured word. It's an excellent partnership, and I just can't believe how lucky I am to have had that guy walk into SRG a few years ago. So it seems to be working. We're adding people. There's new kids coming into F4. There's new graduates coming into F3. Borden will come up. McDonald, we are expecting, as his schedule allows. Nathan Perkins has declared his intention to run F3 next season. And that's, it's fun to see the ladder work, just as it does in the real world, from karts to junior formula into formula, IndyCar and F1. And it's working here for us too, which it's just fun. It's just fun to see. And it's working and it's going well, and we're enjoying it, and we're getting great feedback, and we're grateful to have it broadcasted and on We Charge.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us here this evening, and what a great season. And season 2, or the next season, is slowly on its way.
Yeah, as 2026 season 3, we're looking forward to it. And as I said, thank you so much, Tyler. Shout out to my girlfriend Terry, our dog Luna, who's our biggest fan. She's barking at the TV when the race cars come on. I think she gets it. She's a little small to put in a sim rig at this point, but maybe when sim racing works for dogs, we'll have that league too.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and you have a good night, and we'll see you in the next season.
Yeah, congratulations, SMB. Love you guys. It's a wonderful partnership with Wilkie and Mike Braun there every week for us. Shout out to Mike Braun when he was one hand banned in the thing for Spa as producer and announcer. All the admiration for that guy in the world. I was teasing him about, does he have the cymbals between his knees and the harmonica in his mouth and a drum set in front of him? He must have. That would have been a fun camera to watch. But we're super grateful for you guys. I think it's working for everybody, and we're just grateful and appreciative, and can't wait for 2 weeks time.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. Have a good rest of your night.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So upcoming events here at Slow Motion Broadcasting this weekend. It is Weekend Warriors. The Formula V Series heads to Brand Hatch on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Sunday, the Spec Racer Ford Series at Monza Junior at 2:45. Do not want to miss those broadcasts. Those are very fun as well. And of course, XSLR will be coming up here shortly at the end of the month on Sundays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Well, Tom, how do we wrap this one up?
It's end of season, so you saw that looks a little empty, but it will fill up very quickly as these 12-week seasons for iRacing go on hiatus for that 13th week, kind of, and then we'll be right back. Jason took the words right out of my mouth. I think the escalation from the beginner series to the intermediate Formula 4s to the Formula 3s working beautifully here at SMB. Nope, at SRG, excuse me, Sim Racers Group. And I'm looking forward to this field getting even more contenders next season.
Well, thank you, Mike, for your work behind the scenes. Thank you, Tom, as always. And thank you for all of you watching here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. If you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like this video, and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. We got plenty of shows on the way. It'll just be a quieter week here around Slow Motion Broadcasting. My name is Adam Thompson. For everyone here at Slow Motion Broadcasting and Sim Racers Group, we thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time for Season 3 of 2026.